in the last video we learnt what is subsistence agriculture. Similarly, another type of agriculture is commercial agriculture or commercial farming. Now, do you remember the story of Gopal? If you remember, then you must also remember that Gopal used to practice subsistence agriculture. So he used to grow crops on a small piece of land. Now he saw that even after giving so much efforts, he is not being able to earn good profit. So what does he do? He goes to his cousin Sham. He is another farmer. Now Sham is earning more profit than Gopal. So what does Sham do? He explains what commercial farming is to Gopal. So let's see what is commercial farming. Commercial farming is practiced with the aim of selling the produce, right? So the aim is to sell the produce in the market to earn profit. So the main aim is to sell the production, the food crops in the market and earn profit. So fiber crops like cotton and food grains like wheat are some major commercial crops grown in India. But we need to understand that wheat initially was not a commercial crop in India. Just after 1960 Green Revolution, wheat became a major commercial crop that is grown in India. Okay, so there are types of commercial agriculture. The very first type is intensive commercial agriculture. Now, what do we mean by that? We mean that it refers to growing of crops on a small land, but this time it is for commercial purpose. Now, Sham is an intelligent farmer and he knows that growing crops on a small field of land will not give him enough profit. So he uses modern methods or many other modern irrigation systems to increase his production. So in a small plot of land where it is practiced in densely populated regions, the farmers use scientific or modern methods of farming which leads to a high production, and this is what Sham does. So the farmers who practice this type of agriculture, they use fertilizers and pesticides along with modern methods of irrigation. The farmers grow multiple crops and have extra crops for sale, and that is why this is known as commercial farming. So as you can see here, this field is showing the growth of multiple crops, while this is showing you a modern method of irrigation, right? And here the farmer is using fertilizers and pesticides on his land to increase his production, having extra crops. So now Sham has another idea. What is that? Sham encourages Gopal to buy a larger field when he has sizable profit. Now you know that in these large fields, can the same primitive tools be used as that in intensive commercial agriculture? No. So what do? Here we need machines, tractors. Therefore, modernized machines and equipments are used, as you can see here. So they're using modern machines or equipments on these large fields as labor is not enough. The machine is doing most of the work. Therefore, extensive commercial farming requires large farming lands, as I've already mentioned, practiced in less populated areas. Only 1 or 2 crops are grown. So a variety of crops is not grown. When we are doing this type of farming, we only grow 1 or 2 crops. Wheat, corn, barley, oats, rye and cotton are some important crops that are grown using this particular method. Now, as we know that wheat, corn and oats are some grains that are grown in large numbers or in large quantity for commercial purpose. Therefore, this type of farming is also called commercial grain farming. Well, so if we take a look at the world map, we see that the areas that are sparsely populated experience or practice this type of agriculture. And what are these? These are steppe region of Eurasia, parts of Gujarat, Punjab, Haryana and Maharashtra in India, downs of Australia, pampas of Argentina and prairie lands of North America. Well, coming to another form of commercial farming. So what exactly is plantation farming? Plantation farming involves the growing of a single crop on a very large scale. Tea plantations being a very good example. Here you can see that these are tea plantations of Assam in India. They are vast in size and all these plantations grow crops for commercial purpose. So if we take a look at the map of India, we see that regions like Darjeeling and Assam grow tea in large quantities. Therefore, they are leading producers of tea in India. Another example of plantation crop. Here we see these cocoa plantations in Ghana, which is in Africa. Now from these plantations, we get the raw material, that is cocoa beans. From that cocoa bean, which is processed in many ways, we get chocolate in powder, liquid and many other forms. Therefore, this is just another example of a plantation crop. Well, when we take a look at the map of India, here coffee being another plantation crop is grown in large quantities in Karnataka, making it a leading producer of this plantation crop, and that is coffee. Well, talking about rubber, another plantation crop, here in Kerala is grown in large quantities, making it a leading producer of rubber. Another plantation crop, that is coconut, which generally grows on good fertile lands or on coastal plains, which is all along this area and the western and eastern Ghats of India. So Kerala, falling in this particular region, is a leading producer of coconut. Well, cashew nut, which is just another example of a plantation crop in India, is grown in large quantities in Maharashtra, making it a leading producer. So now we come to another type of commercial farming, and that is dairy farming. Now, do you like milk? Well, if you ask me, I love milk and everything that is made out of it, like butter, ghee, yum. So what exactly is dairy farming? Well, it includes the breeding, raising of dairy animals, particularly cows and water buffaloes, for the production of milk. So we get milk as the raw material, which is processed, and then end products like ghee, butter, etc. are made. Well, now buffalo's milk is produced in commercial quantities, particularly in India. The goat is also a very important milk producer in Asian countries, especially in China and in India. Well, now we get milk, we drink it and other products made out of it. But the source of milk, that is the cows and buffaloes, what do they eat? Well, pasture is the natural feed for dairy cattle. Right. Now, if there is not enough pasture available for them, what has to be fed? Well, they need to be fed by hay, silage and grains, so that they get all the important nutrients for giving us healthy milk or for giving us a good production of milk. So New Zealand is an outstanding example of grassland dairying. Why is that? There the cattle is kept on pasture almost the entire year. And that is why New Zealand has a big or a huge production of milk, giving it an outstanding position in this kind of farming. So when we are looking at this type of farming, a constant threat is disease. Disease is a constant threat. Now, how do we avoid it? Well, a good herd management is required. And what is that? It includes cleanliness, isolation of the injured animals, hazard-free premises that might cause injury to those animals, and there should be a continuous protection against poisonous plants or other such materials, right? Well, so let us learn the final and the last type of commercial farming. And what is that? It is the mixed farming. Now, what do we mean by mixed farming? Well, if on the same plot of land we grow crops as well as rare livestock, it is called mixed farming. So basically we are mixing two types of practices. So here, mixed farming is the growing of crops and rearing of animals on the same farm. As you can see here, crops are being grown and also cattle is rearing the ground or the field. Well, now where is this practice? It is practiced across Asia. Let's name the countries like India, Malaysia, Indonesia, Afghanistan, South Africa, China, Central Europe, Canada and Russia. Therefore, a large number of countries practice mixed farming. Well, now say for example, a farmer is not getting the expected return on just growing crops. Now, how can he ensure a continuous flow of income? He has to carry on with his day-to-day activities, right? And his day-to-day expenses. So to balance that, he starts rearing of livestock on the same farm. Therefore, this is a major importance or a major advantage of this type of farming, where in case of low returns from the crop, rearing of livestock can ensure a continuous flow of income to the farmer, right? Well, so when we take a look at the world map, what do we see? The areas covered in purple color tells us that these areas practice mixed farming. Well, now in 21st century, organic farming is the new craze. Now, it includes or involves sustainability and welfare of the environment. Now, how do we define organic farming? Well, organic farming means growing of crops with certain guidelines. There is no use of synthetic chemicals or pesticides, right? Now, there are different advantages. And what are these? Well, these are reduces soil erosion, decreases nitrate leaching into the groundwater, and recycles animal waste back into the farm. Now, since they are very costly, these organic products, they are counterbalanced by consumer cost on these products. Well, so organic farming is a agricultural system that uses fertilizers of organic origin which originated in the 20th century. Now, this is a difference between organic farming and subsistence farming. Both use limited fertilizers, but the main difference or the major difference is the fertilizers used in organic farming are organic in origin. Well, so today we have learnt in this video that types of farming based on land could be intensive farming, where primitive tools or labor is used on the fields, while another form is the extensive farming, where modern technologies and equipments are used. Now, types of farming based on purpose, as we have learnt, is of two types: subsistence and commercial. Now, subsistence includes intensive subsistence farming and primitive or shifting agriculture, while commercial includes intensive commercial farming, commercial grain or extensive commercial farming, plantation farming, dairy farming, and mixed farming. So these are what we learned today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at deltastep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers, or to get access to all our 5,000 plus amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million-plus questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock test. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it is rewarding too. So register for free now.